People, that's a great guy. Follow him. Thanks a lot for everything.
Hey, thank you, Voja.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good one. And have a lot of patience waiting for the line, right?
Have a good and safety trip.
Yes.
Yo,
Thank you so much. Voila.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, a lot has happened since I just recorded the German version of this vlog. My very first vlog. Warm welcome to you Dovies out there, and also everybody else who has just joined over the last few days since I left on this journey. I just ran into these group of students. They were super nice high school students, and they were watching me record, and then they came up to me and they were like, "Oh my god, sorry to interrupt, but hey, can we interview you for our English class?" So I did an interview with them and told them about my my travels. And now I also just recorded this saxophone player. His name is Nikolai. I will make sure to link him in the subscription and the show notes for sure. Go check him out. I love street art. Sorry, way too much information already. Let's start from the beginning. I'm here in Novi Sad. Behind me is the name of the Mary Church, the biggest Catholic church in Novi Sad, maybe even in Serbia, but for sure in Novi Sad. And also the Trg Sloboda, I think, which means Freedom Square. So it's a popular, area. We're in the city center, and yeah, it's day 3. This is going to be the first vlog about Serbia. And yeah, I left you guys from the Hungarian-Serbian border. I told you about the story of my first hitch with a trucker, with Voja, who was awesome. I had such a good time driving all the way from Budapest with him. If you haven't read that story, go check it out on my Instagram or my Facebook. Instagram is hitchiking_dove, and Facebook is Jakob Ilek. I forgot my own name for a second there. Also, I hope the noise is not too disturbing. I'm trying with this microphone. It should work, hopefully. And yeah, so if you haven't checked it out, press pause right now and then come back. I'll wait for you. So, I got a ride all the way to Novi Sad. This is Voja. Do you want to be in the video?
Yeah? Please. Yeah, please.
That's his truck. It's awesome. I'm gonna show you later. He's got all the nice little details and plushy things, and he's a huge fan of Red Star Belgrade. I am also a massive football fan, so it's awesome. He even has, I'll show you guys, hold on. He's got this carpet, and he's got the Red Star Belgrade carpet. It's fucking awesome. It's so cool. It's my first time riding with a truck, and I'm already super excited because that means I won't be sleeping in a hammock tonight. Yes! Guys, let me just tell you, this guy is amazing. He's such a kind person and such an awesome truck driver. He just gave me kobasica, Serbian sausages. To all of you veggies out there, look away now because I'm gonna indulge this beautiful sausage right now. Looking forward to it very much. Oh my god, this guy, look, he just keeps on pulling out stuff. Complete food. Complete food. Crazy. And now you're back. So yeah, from the border, Voja recommended for me to just walk across the borders because his wait time for all the trucks would have been up to maybe even 10 hours, and he was like, yeah, you're better off just walking. He was actually a crazy motherfucker and just passed the 2 kilometers of trucks already waiting and just lined up as the 3rd truck. Not a good way to make friends probably, but I'm sure that at some point probably somebody left him in. And yeah, so I walked. It wasn't my first time walking across a border. There's actually a funny story crossing a river between Guatemala and Mexico. Some of you might know that story, but that's a different one. And I mean, just bureaucratically, it was no problem whatsoever. I just walked across, I just showed my passports regularly. There was a little language barrier at the Serbian side. And for a second I thought the guy is forcing me to get on a car, but he just really meant that I should line up behind the next car and just wait in line like everybody else. But I actually got to skip the line, or most of it. But between the two borders, it did feel a little bit eerie and dodgy and weird, because there's huge fences. There was like Frontex cars, you know, the like border patrol, whatnot. I'm telling you guys, crossing a border walking is dodgy as hell. And it also feels super weird because there's so many fences around. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to do this too often, actually. Also, I can only imagine how hard it must be, or how difficult and terrifying it must be for somebody who doesn't have the same passport privilege that I have, or somebody who might even be going the other way and trying to get into the EU, the European Union, and not out of it. So yeah, probably I'll hear more stories like that very soon, because my next stop, if everything works out fine, is going to be Greece. And probably I'll spend a lot of time also with people on the move, and also volunteers who are helping and supporting people on the move in various ways, but more on that next week. So I crossed the border and started putting up my sign and my thumb immediately again. I was actually in a good mood, and I thought it's not going to take long. It took me an hour and a half, and I changed spots 3 times. I think it was maybe a strategic mistake to write the exact destination on my sign. So I had Novi Sad on my sign, and all the people who weren't going to Novi Sad, they were like, nah, we're all right. There was also a lot of foreigners, a lot of license plates from Vienna or other places in Austria. None of them stopped. I tried to dance my way into their hearts, but it didn't work. And so at some point I was like, I need to change my strategy. And I made a new sign, and I just wrote anywhere. So it's been an hour and a half since I crossed the border by foot. I haven't had any luck. Nobody seems to want to take me. So I did a little desperation move. Hold on, there's somebody coming. Hold on, maybe this worked. Maybe it worked that I just wrote anywhere. And it was this guy called Slavo. Super nice guy. He spent some time in the US, so we had no language problems. He works in sales, and he sells like sports equipment, mainly focusing on tennis. I think he also knows the Djokovic family. So it was really cool talking to him. And he took me to his hometown, or he offered me to take me to his hometown called Vrbas. I had never heard of it before. And he said, no, it's fine. He'll just drop me off at a gas station at the highway, and then I just can go on. He also gave me some chocolate, which was really nice of him. And we had like such a good conversation that he actually forgot that he wanted to drop me off at the gas station. So he just left the highway. I didn't want to say anything. I probably should have, but I was like, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. But then he was like, oh shit, I don't want to go on the highway again. And I can take you into town, and then you can try at the gas station there. But it was already like, I think 9 o'clock maybe. I don't remember exactly, but quite late. People at the gas station didn't speak any English. There was no Wi-Fi. I had no way to connect to anybody. So I was just preparing to, sleep in the hammock. Like you guys voted, because that was the result of the vote. I think it was 2/3 in favor of the hammock and against the plan of hitchhiking at night. But then something magical happens, like it always does on those kind of trips. So I just walked away from the gas station, and there was this guy just yelling out something in Serbian. I just said, English, German, no Serbian. And he, in broken English, but it was okay. It was enough to communicate. Dejan is his name. And we talked a little bit, and he was like, what are you doing here? Why are you in Viribus? And I told him my story, and he was like, okay, you know what? You can just stay at my place. He was just on his way back from the bar, I think, having like an after-work beer, maybe 2 or 3. And for a second, I was considering, like, could this be a dodgy situation, or is it gonna be fine? But then I was like, okay, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I just met this guy randomly. There's no reason whatsoever that he might want to try and scam me or anything like that. So I was like, all right, sure, yeah, let's go. So we walked to his place. He showed me his dog. He had a beautiful husky, and his apartment was his own apartment, but in the same building as his parents. Živeli. Živeli. Thank you, Dejan. Živeli. My first Serbian rakia. Yeah, no water needed. That goes down. Ooh. Good? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I slept. He actually let me sleep in his bed. He slept on the couch, which was super nice. We just talked a little bit about, humanity and cultural differences between Serbia and Austria and Serbian hospitality. And in his opinion, Serbians have some of the nicest hospitality compared to other European countries because people don't have so much, so they're more willing to give, which I think is a really nice thought, actually, because oftentimes I feel like people who have less are more willing to give, which is very paradoxical, but I've also experienced that in other countries. So yeah, I had a great night of sleep, and yeah, probably because I only slept 3 hours before that. And yeah, woke up the next morning to some great Turkish coffee. He was even nice enough to, before going to work, drive me back to the highway, or at least the ramp to the highway, because there is a toll system in Serbia, same as in probably most Eastern European countries, or also Italy. A lot of countries have that system. All right, little check-in. Just hitching a ride to Novi Sad after staying with Dan, my amazing spontaneous host from last night. We'll see how long we'll wait today. Stay tuned. And then I put out my sign again, and there was one funny incident where this woman, probably my age, she stopped. And she rolled down the window and she said something in Serbian. I was like, English, German, sorry. And she said in really good English, like, where are you going? I'm going all the way to Belgrade, but I'm scared. And she was laughing, saying it, and I was laughing too. And I was like, oh, I'm a friendly guy, no worries. And I'm also scared, so you're fine. And then she was like, no, but I'm so scared. And she rolled the window back up and just laughed again. And just left me there laughing. And luckily, I think it was 2 or 3 cars later, this guy Mirko stopped. He was going from Vrbas also all the way to Belgrade for work. Super nice guy, super nice English. We had a great conversation. He was talking about the mainstream media and how the mainstream media is making everybody scared, so nobody does things like me, hitchhiking and taking risks. And so he was like, yeah, I'm so impressed and I really enjoyed the conversation, and I'm going to take you all the way into Novi Sad. Even though I'm going to Belgrade, it doesn't matter. I want to help you out. So it was super nice. I also recommended him to look up scouts and do some research so he can send his 3 kids to scouting, because there's obviously scouts in Serbia as well. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do the research. And then I was in Novi Sad, and the first moment where I could actually, relax and have some breakfast, and then got in touch with my Couchsurf host and got some Wi-Fi at the cafe, and it was all good from there. And yeah, checked in with my Couchsurf host Bojan. He's super nice, really cool guy, and also doing some content creation. He's on TikTok apparently, and you can follow him actually, Bojan_Baltic. He did some videos about his trip to Spain. He went with the car from Serbia all the way to Spain, and then I think he also went to Tenerife and Morocco. I think 2 months overall, maybe even more. Sorry, Bojan, correct me if I'm wrong. And yeah, really, really nice. So for sure, check him out. And yeah, he took me to the Petrovaradin fortress, which is here in Novi Sad. And just so you know, it's actually really funny. The students pointed it out earlier to me how similar Graz is to Novi Sad, because they're about the same size. They're about 300,000 people. Both have rivers flowing through them. Both have like a hill with a fortress. Both are student cities. So it's funny how many similarities there are between the two cities. Anyway, yeah, he showed me the fortress. His tours are really funny because he's just as shitty in history as I am. And everywhere he's like pointing, this is some important building, but I can't tell anything about it, which I thought was really funny. But he explained to me that there is catacombs underneath the fortress as well. And also in the summer, in July, there's a festival called Exit Festival. Apparently it's super popular because everybody who I've talked to told me about Exit Festival. And it's right on the fortress. And he told me a story that up until recently, people tried to sneak their way into the festival by going through the catacombs. And we went down there just to see, and I'm telling you, it's scary as fuck. It's intimidating, it's dark, and I can imagine you can get lost super easily. But, you know, I love that kind of anarchy where people just try to fuck the police and just do whatever they want. So I really appreciated him telling me that. And yeah, then we hung out a little bit. He did some work, and then we took a stroll, or wanted to take a stroll around Old Town, which is where I'm right now, last night. And then I realized that I'm missing my jacket. And I thought I had just lost it somewhere, maybe on the bus, because yes, I admit it, I did take the bus here in Novi Sad because I was super tired from the whole day yesterday, the day before yesterday, and I just wanted to get to his place quickly. It was like 50 cents, so super cheap and totally in my budget, so I was fine using it. So I thought I'd lost it on the bus, and then I checked my phone, and Dejan, my host from the other night, messages me, I forgot my jacket at his place. And I just thought it was so funny because, believe it or not, this is a true story, it was not my first time forgetting my jacket on this trip. And bear in mind, I'm only 3 days deep. I have a history of misplacing my things when I'm traveling. It's a really, really bad habit. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm not that attached to my material belongings. Not sure. Anyways, so Dejan goes like, you know what? Give me your host's number and I'll call him. So they did that. They talked a little bit, and then they figured out a way to get the jacket to me. And this is something that I learned. I had no idea that this is a thing anywhere in the world. It's certainly not a thing in Austria, but apparently in Serbia and also in other countries, it's normal to just give bus drivers between cities things, clothes. There was a guy at the bus station who with like a stack of cigarettes, and he just gave it to the bus driver, and he takes it back to takes it to the next city, and you just tip the bus driver, and it's all good. And I got my jacket. It cost me well, I tipped him €5 because Dejan told me that's an appropriate amount, but I'm super happy I got my jacket back. And apparently, like some friends, some of you guys let me know, this is a thing all over Eastern Europe. You can do this in Moldova, in Ukraine, in Croatia, in Bosnia. It's normal. And also another friend, shout out Cat on Campus, he told me that in South America, that's also a thing. And there's a whole another kind of bus culture, I guess, where you can just also tell the bus driver wherever you want to go or wherever you want to be dropped, and they just, maybe they don't come to a full stop, but they, you know, they go slower and you can just jump off. And I love that. I love when it's not like so strict. Everything follows the schedule, everything, yeah, is in order. I just like chaos, I guess. And yeah, that's the story of my jacket. And yeah, no, I forgot. Because the first time I forgot my jacket, I forgot it with my former colleagues in Feldbach, where I visited before leaving. And my former colleague, Goran, in marketing, he was nice enough to just drive like 10 minutes towards the border with Hungary to give me my jacket. So maybe the jacket doesn't want to stay with me. Maybe it's scared of Asia for some reason. We'll see how long I get to keep it. But for now, I have it back. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, good morning, guys. I am now already in Thessaloniki. I'm on the rooftop of the building where the headquarters of MVI are, the Medical Volunteers International. This is also where I recorded the first DOVE podcast, Diary of All Volunteers on Earth from on the road, with the dear Teresa, who has just been the most amazing person, the kindest host in the last few days, and all her organization. So a huge thank you already. So make sure you check that out if you haven't yet. There's also the video on YouTube. And yeah, I left you guys off in Novi Sad. I actually was interviewed by the 4 students who you saw on the video. You can see that interview on Patreon. I'll make sure to put the link in there. I set that up so that you guys may support me if you feel like it. You can start as the lowest tier patron for €4.50. It's not a lot, but it helps me a lot. And I would be super happy for you guys to join me there. But a lot happened since Novi Sad, and just wanted to get you guys up to date so I can finally finish this vlog. I was up until 1 a.m. yesterday to work on it a little bit. Hopefully it will come out cool. That didn't come out cool. Anyways, yeah, so I stayed 1 night longer in Novi Sad than planned because my couchsurf host, who I already told you about, Bojan, he took me the next day to Belgrade because he had an appointment there. Yeah, so this is what it looks like, the entrance. But like I said, it's closed because it's raining. And also it's February, so not a lot of people go to Strand. So it worked out perfectly for me. Unfortunately, the weather in Belgrade wasn't too great, and you guys voted and decided that I should go use the 3 hours that I have, basically a layover, to explore the capital of Serbia. And of course I obliged because otherwise there would be no point in making those polls. So I went out in the rain, but before that I had to get rid of my luggage, which I thought I could just do at the train station. Turns out the train station doesn't have a storage for luggage, so I had Bojan drop me off there, which was stupid of me because I could have just checked beforehand where to drop off my luggage, and then he could have taken me to the bus station, which is where I then went by public transport. So I lost about an hour there, and yeah, I basically just had enough time to walk from the bus station up to Freedom Square in Belgrade, which seems an interesting city. I mean, it's historically loaded, but as you guys know by now, I'm anything but a history buff, so unfortunately I can't tell you too much. According to Bojan, it used to be the capital of Yugoslavia as well. And yeah. Alright guys, real talk, that's what you get for sending me out into the rain and the cold with only 3 hours to explore. Behind me is the Prince Mihailo statue. I'm here on the Freedom Square in Belgrade. I was able to drop off my luggage at the bus stop, But since I don't have Wi-Fi, and also my next lift, Rezi and her partner, probably don't have Wi-Fi in Serbia either. So I'm gonna have to go back to the train station and leave right away. So I was just here for a few minutes. I'm gonna walk back now. But there were a few cool things on the way. I'm sure Belgrade has a lot to offer. And I'm a little bit sad that I wasn't able to explore, but you can't have it all. That's how life goes. And that's how trips like this also go. Checking out. See you next time. Boom. I just spent literally 10 minutes on Freedom Square and then rushed back to the bus station to get my luggage and then back to the train station. Yeah, so I got a little turnaround and walked back and forth, or like in a circle, heading back to the bus station now. I guess this is the first time where I feel a little bit stressed because I have to be on time. I don't want to make Izzy and her partner wait. So yeah, and also I'm still figuring out how to handle these like little thingies. Delete. Because this is where Rezi and her partner Wenzel picked me up. Like I said, we have scout history. Rezi went to the World Scout Jamboree with my brothers and one of my cousins. And also Wenzel used to be in my scout group, in fact. Only for a few years when we were really young, but we were on one same summer camp back in 2005, which was really a funny, not really a coincidence, but a funny circumstance. So yeah, they picked me up in Belgrade with their beautiful dog Maya, who Rezi adopted here in Greece, where I'm right now. Well, I don't know if she adopted her right here, but anyways. They were gracious enough to take me all the way to Greece. Rezi just told me a day before I left, so it was super spontaneous, but it worked out perfectly. I'm so fucking happy that I decided to change my plans and come with her instead of going to Bulgaria. The first leg on Sunday, which I already don't know which day that was, I think the 26th of February, and they wanted to take a break because they were driving all the way from Austria. I will for real put in the insert of the video there. They went all the way from Austria and took a pit stop in Niš, which is in the south of Belgrade. They booked a little Airbnb, which was actually super fancy and really, really spacious. So I could stay with them. We had some nice dinner. We created some nice French fry content for all my French fry lovers out there. And yeah, just walked around the city center a little bit in the evening, which is super nice. They have like a really nice promenade along the river. And yeah, really, really nice impressions from just one night in Niš. And then the next day we drove on towards Greece, through northern Macedonia. There was no problems at the borders whatsoever. Everything's super fine. The dog had its documents, we had our documents, so everything was perfect. And we got to Thessaloniki in a rush. Well, not a rush, but yeah. Without any big circumstances, no real big stories to tell. We had some great conversations on the way, and yeah, Rezi prepared me a little bit for what to expect, but yeah, I guess more on that in the next vlog. And also there's some really amazing stories to tell, and I also still have to record an English podcast about MVI with Ash, one of the coordinators here. So I better go back downstairs and prepare for that. See you guys later. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check out the podcast I recorded with Rezi. Check out something else I'll put here, probably a playlist of all the previous podcasts in German. And yeah, Efcharisto. See you guys.